Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be going into the Amazon tool deals and checking out some of the items that I've found for this week. These are either going to be items that are on sale, items that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, or items I find interesting would like your guys' input on if you guys have used them. All these items will be linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested, with their own independent links, so it's super easy to find. And then I'll have two additional links that say tools and tools continued. Those are going to be two links that take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest. So first up, we're looking at the Gearwrench 4-piece dual material scraper set. Also, before we get started, I am running a new software that will tell me what the prices of these items are at other websites, as well as previous pricing on these items, so we can tell if it's a good deal or not. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. If you guys like that, please let me know. I'll continue to use it. If not, if you think it's a waste of time, please let me know down in the comments. But first up, this Gearwrench set. I have this set, but I have the screwdriver set, I have the pick set, I have the scraper set, I have the panel popper set. All the same sets as what they offer now, but Gearwrench has updated the handles over the last 5 or 6 years. They switched to this, orange and black handle. All of mine have the red and black handle that they had previously. That's the only thing that's changed on these things. If you can find some of the older sets, sometimes they'll be cheaper. But this is at $33.99, $34, down from a list price of $42, which I think is a really good price now. If you're a weekend wearer, DIYer, you could probably just get by with, if you don't do a lot of engine rebuilds, or, if you don't find yourself needing a scraper, you could probably just get by with buying one or two and having on hand. But I think at $34, it's a good set. Mine work extremely well. They're very sharp. I like that they come in different widths, and you get a couple different length options in this set. It comes in a little blow molded case. The blow molded case isn't like super durable, but it's not also super cheap. Mine is still alive, but I do not move it. If I moved that plastic case around over the years a lot, probably wouldn't hold up. But since I've organized my box, I keep it where it is. It's held up fine. So that I'll just leave it at that. But here you can see everything included. You get 3 different widths, and then the wide one, you're going to get 2 different lengths. There's a little case that it comes in. It does have an open slot here. I have a screwdriver sitting in mine, a one-off screwdriver that I have. But these scrapers are actually quite sharp. Now, it will definitely help you remove gaskets and sealants and things like that. One thing I will mention, though, if you're working with an aluminum block or heads, anything like that, just make sure to be careful when using a scraper like this. This isn't like a razor blade where if you catch a nick, it'll bend the blade, or you run a higher risk of gouging the aluminum with these if you're not careful. Now, I don't want you to be afraid of using these because of that. I'm just saying, don't go like jabbing, and just make sure to do your best not to slip. You'll be perfectly fine, and they work really well. But that's basically it as far as the photos. Once again, the only thing they've changed over the old design was the handle. They're a tri-lobe handle. This newer generation of handle has more of a tri-lobe to it than the old design. The old design is tri-lobe, but it's very subtle. So I think they kind of changed the shape just a little bit, and then the grip has changed on it, like as far as where the rubber is and the design of the rubber. It's got some slits in it for just grip. So just a little bit of a change there. But this has 4.8 stars, 354 ratings. Acme Tools has this for $34, Walmart $42, and some other websites I've never heard of range anywhere from $40 to $56. So Acme Tools and Amazon have it for the best price as of right now. As far as pricing here today, it is about average, but you will catch this on sale, and has been recently anywhere from $28 to $30. It does show a low price of $21, but that was at the very beginning of 2025, right around the holidays, so take that into account. It may have been on a big holiday sale. So other than that, throughout the year, your best deal is probably going to be about that $28 price range, but I think at this $34 price, it's still a really good set for anyone out there that wants to have a good variety of scrapers without spending a whole lot, and maybe you want more than just one scraper on hand. Next, we're looking at the Coast 255 lumen rechargeable work light. This has a laser pointer and a magnetic end cap. So I did mention the Gearwrench one before. I've mentioned an O-Light, and I like this design as well. This is at $30. Its lowest price I've seen it in basically the last year is $25. But honestly, it sits around this price. It does have a high price of $40 back in December of 2024. I don't know if this was on Amazon or not, but I don't think $40 is a great price for it. I think $30 is good for a rechargeable light like this, and it's not just a pen light. You do have a wide area light here as well. So let's just get into some of the functions. You got the fixed beam flashlight, the spotlight, then you have your area floodlight, and then you have your laser, which I think a lot of versatility here, a lot of different functions. 255 lumens, 40 meter distance, 5-hour runtime. It's got that magnetic base, switches here on the side, built-in. Honestly, I did not know about this. I did not know it had a built-in ruler on the side. There you can see the pocket clip. It does have a charge light indicator right behind my dumb body. There's 4 LED lights. There you can see the lumens on the different settings, the distances and runtime for each one. And I think for $30 it's a good pen light. But once again, guys, there are so many different pen lights and flashlights out there. But getting a reliable, good quality, durable, rechargeable one is always nice. And I think this is one of them. You may come across some better ones. There are also a lot of really cheap ones out there. I just think it's worth spending the little bit extra to get a rechargeable over running a AAA battery one, because if you use your pen light enough, you will go through some batteries. So having a rechargeable one is definitely worth it. Here's just some of the other ones that they have showing, and I actually like a lot of the Nebo lights as well. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I think they're in Walmart. I think I've seen them in quite a few places, but I like a lot of their lights. I don't think I personally own any of them, but I do like what they offer. They seem like, some pretty decent quality lights. And some of the brands out there get very, very expensive with their pen lights as well. So I think this is a good priced one for a pretty decent quality rechargeable pen light. Let me know your guys' thoughts. This has 4.3 stars at 122 ratings. Next up, real quickly, we're going to be looking at the Capri Tools 3/8 drive, shallow, semi-deep, and deep impact socket set. This is from 8mm to 22mm. This is a 45-piece set, and this is without the organizer. You can get it with the billet aluminum Westling socket organizer. I think that brings it up to 140 or 150, something like that. I could be wrong. Really, really nice organizers, though. I have this set on the Westling organizer when it first came out. Absolutely love it. I like the coverage from 8 to 22mm. Really good coverage for 3/8 drive. And I love that you get the mid-length sockets. Absolutely love them. And just great coverage overall. Good quality. They've held up extremely well. Capri Tools is one of my favorite tool brands out there. When I look for tools, I look a lot at Tekton, I look a lot at Capri, and if they don't offer them, then I start looking at other brands, or I always check other brands just to compare pricing, because I'm not always going after the best tools. I'm definitely not going after the cheapest tools. I'm always looking for the best tool for the best price. And I find that a lot in Capri, and I've been really happy with them. And I think this is overall a really good set. You can get it in just shallow. You can get it in just deep. You can get it in just shallow and deep. But this is kind of their full set, just without the organizer. It saves a little bit of money. If you have your own organizer, or you want to pick up a cheaper organizer, it's at $116. And that's just its flat price. It doesn't really go on sale, or at least hasn't been on sale on Amazon since last year. Basically, in the last year, it hasn't dropped in pricing. If you do buy it from the Capri website, you can earn star points or points that you can then use later on to save money on a future purchase. I like how durable they are. They are chromoly, phosphate finish. There you can see it's both stamped and laser engraved on the sockets. So if this laser engraving ever comes off, at least you still have the stamping. If you don't like that you can't read the stamping, take a little paint marker or whatnot, chalk, rub it in there and you'll be able to see it again, or get a silver Sharpie and write on the side of the socket again. But I think it's a great set for the price and great coverage. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys haven't tried out Capri Tools, definitely check out their website. They've been releasing quite a few new items this year, and I'm very, very impressed with them. Next up is one that I've mentioned a few times in the past, something that I came across a few years back that I absolutely fell in love with. Not specifically this brand, haven't used this brand before, but I saw this set, and this set has quite a bit more coverage than the sets that I've bought in the past. And I've tried out 3 different brands on Amazon as far as these. This is a solder wire connector, and it's really nice because it's got little seals in it, so it's watertight. It's got heat shrink, and it's got a solder ring in the center that you heat up, and once you basically put your wires in like a standard connector, and instead of crimping it, you're heating it. And I suggest using a heat gun, because using a lighter, you'll just end up melting through the heat shrink before melting the solder. That's the only time I ever had an issue with these solder connectors, is trying to use a lighter. Use a heat gun. They work extremely well. Not great for all situations, if you're in a tight area working, center consoles, up underneath dashes. Sometimes you can't get a heat gun up in there, or, hold the wires together with that connector and heat it at the same time in super tight areas. But anytime I can, these are the connectors that I use. This is priced really well at $12, especially for the variety that you're getting. You're getting 430 pieces, but you're getting a lot of different sizes for different gauge wires. Like my set has the white, red, blue, and yellow. This includes a green, purple, and orange that fall in between all of the ones that I have, so I think that's really cool. I do wish that you would get a little bit more of those, but I would probably take a few more of those than the whites. I very rarely use the whites just because that is for very, very small gauge wire, and I don't typically deal too much with that small of wire. But everybody's situation is different. There you can see the seals on the inside, the heat shrink, and the solder. There you can see if you use a lighter, this is what's basically going to happen. I really enjoy these much more over just using your crimp style connections, and a lot of times it's easier than actually getting in certain areas with a soldering gun or soldering iron and trying to solder wires together and put your own heat shrink and stuff on it. I like that this is all just pre-assembled, ready to go. You slap it in, you heat it up, you got a good soldered connection that's sealed really well. Once again, this is at $12. It's got 4.5 stars, 94 ratings, and this has ranged, it's sat a lot at this price, $11.50, quite a bit, as high as $13 and as low as $10. So even at this full price of $12, I think it's a really good deal. There are tons and tons and tons of other brands out there selling sets just like this at different prices. This was a really good price, as you can tell, compared to all of these other ones. This is actually one of the other sets that I've owned. $15, 200 pieces. This is double that size, and a few dollars less. So this will probably be the next one that I check out. I just restocked on it, so it might be a few months before I go about getting this one. But if you haven't tried out these solder butt connectors, they are fantastic. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. That's it as far as this week's Amazon tool deals. All of these will be linked down in the description. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.